It's a catch-22 because if you don't have a good process and a ton of clients, you're never gonna materialize those clients into funded files. If you have a very good process, you can be out there hunting business to use the process you've built out.
Welcome to the Excellence of Execution. Let's welcome our hosts, Paul and Dan.
Season 4, Episode 3. We are back with our largest ever panel. Danny, we're back. We're on camera.
I don't know. I kind of like it being so far away from me. I didn't think I would, but I kind of do. That's rude.
So before we get into it, and I got to introduce you guys. We have Carlo, we have Miguel, and Micky. 3 of our top producers in the office, which is really, really exciting, and over $500 million in production in this panel between the 4 of you. I don't contribute to that in any way. However, before we get into the fun stuff and you guys start talking, I always talk about our intros, and Dan lets me do my spiel, and I was thinking about it. How am I going to introduce you guys, which besides your name? So I thought of 3 things you guys have in common, like legitimate things.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say a band, like if you were
guys
gonna
are a boy band?
No, like if you were gonna do like a band, what band would we be?
Can I be the 5th member of it?
Of course, you could be the groupie.
So are we more like what?
I'm just joking.
Are we like One Direction or maybe Backstreet
Wow,
Boys?
you want one? I
Anyways.
was gonna go earlier than that. I was gonna go into the 80s.
The
but
Beatles?
I
You
don't know
guys
about
could be the Beatles.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of think like we're more like what's her name?
Spice Girls?
I like the Spice Girls, but that's not the one. What's with Johnny Lee or Justin Lee? What's his name?
Justin Timberlake.
No.
Who's Justin Lee? Anyone want to help here?
No idea.
Carlo, Miguel, Mick. If you
Max.
guys were a band,
Max.
what
The
band would you guys
Dirt.
be?
The Dirt was made after what band? It was Motley Crue.
Oh, Motley Crue, right? Oh, Tommy Lee.
Tommy Lee.
Who's Justin? Anyways, getting back to mortgages. So since you guys all entered the game of mortgages, whether as a mortgage specialist or in this, you guys all went up year over year, every single year. So Micky, it's been 6 years for you, or 5 years?
6 years.
6 years.
Yeah.
Carlo, 3 or 4, and both of you guys 5. Dan and Miguel 5.
Oh,
Secondly,
there you
you guys all exceeded 100 million in 2022, which is incredible, honestly.
That was awesome.
And you guys all finished top 50 in under DLC out of 2,800 agents or something like that, which is incredible. So top 50, all you guys. All right. Those are the comparisons I found. So before you guys start bantering and bickering and you guys all push each other, I thought it'd be fun for each of you guys to, in 30 seconds or less, compliment one other person on this panel of what you admire about their business, why you think they're so successful. So Migs, why don't we start with you? Who do you want to say? 30 seconds or less. Don't go too crazy. Just pick someone. You guys got to all pick different people, okay? So if Migs picks Carlo, Micky and Dan, you can't talk about Carlo.
You know what? I'm going to pick Carlo.
Okay.
The reason why I'm picking Carlo is the fact that he's been able to grow year over year and still have time with his family, be able to do both a work and personal life balance, which is huge, and that's what I'm trying to get and learn as well. So I get that from Carlo, and I'm learning from him every day, which is awesome. So a family man and a successful man, which is an incredible achievement.
I love that. I'm glad you brought that up because Carlo does have 2 kids now. You're a new father, so people that are listening know the balance that you can still have kids and family. Okay, let's have some fun here. Carlo, talk. Who are you gonna pick?
I'll return the favor. I'll go with Miguel.
Oh, well, that leaves Micky and Dan for each other. Love fest.
Oh, we love each other.
Austin,
Yeah.
Texas.
We love each other.
Go ahead, Carlo.
I think a big reason why Miguel has been able to run a successful book is he's really good at relationship management. And I feel like his clients and his COIs feel like, they're like he's their best friend, not just their mortgage broker.
Very true. Okay, Mick.
I appreciate
Okay,
that.
I'll definitely pick Dan, and it's an honor to pick Dan because when I first moved over to the broker space, it was a change. It was definitely like something different, even though it was mortgages, but it was still like a whole different world. And Dan was there every step of the way. I had so many questions. He's extremely, extremely helpful, hardworking. He knows how to structure deals. He's always there for people when you need them, and he's a great, great leader and a support for the whole brokerage. And I feel like that contributes to his success, and his commitment to work and his ethics speaks volumes.
Talks a lot of shit.
He does sound like
DF?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit.
Oh, I love how you refer to yourself in third person. Okay, DF.
Why
please.
not?
Do you want to talk about yourself, or you're gonna return the favor for Micky?
I'm gonna return the favor
That's
for sure,
nice.
and I was gonna pick Micky, and
Anyways.
there's one reason as to why, and I spoke about this in the first podcast that we did with Micky, is that his behavior and his attitude every single day is so positive. It doesn't matter what's happening out there. It doesn't matter what files are on fire. It doesn't matter what happens in his personal life. His attitude is always fantastic. And it's so easy to get down on yourself or be in a situation where things are just not great, because it is a very stressful business. And I take that from him every single day. Every time I feel like something's going wrong, I take it with a positive attitude and try to flip it.
He checks his baggage at the door.
That's
I thought
right.
you were going to say we're going to skate to one song and one song only. Actually. That's the direction you were going with that
No.
at the beginning.
Why? What did I
For
say?
one reason.
Oh.
Anyways.
I appreciate
All right. A little bit of rapid fire here. So, Carlo, what's a show or book or something you're currently watching?
A show or a book?
Or
I don't
something,
read.
maybe.
Dude, I haven't read a book probably since like second grade. In
Wow.
full.
And there's a guy, but you can read a Broker Kid in an hour.
I can. Yeah, that's like the only thing I
What
read.
about audiobooks?
I don't listen to audio.
No.
No
What do you-
podcast?
What do you listen to? Britney Spears in the car?
Dude, honestly, like by the time
Paw Patrol for sure.
no, not Paw
Okay,
Patrol.
what show are you watching? Love
That's
Island?
all I watch.
That's inappropriate, bro. My
not
parental
really.
controls are on. Olivia
I
can't
don't
watch
really
that.
watch Love Island.
Okay,
I don't
what are you
know, bro. I'm
Netflix.
just honestly like I watch reruns of Suits all the time.
Suits. That's good. We'll take
I love
it.
that shit.
Mick,
Bro,
what
are
show
you-
are you watching?
Hold on,
hang
hold on.
Oh,
Let's
stop
just take
it.
a step back
Yeah,
here
yeah,
for a
yeah.
second. You're watching Suits?
Yeah. Man, he was wearing a
Rerun, like
t-shirt.
probably for the 9th time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, who are you in Suits?
Who am I?
We'll answer that for you.
I never watched it.
Okay.
I've watched
Have
some.
you?
Who's the bald guy?
That's exactly.
That's him.
Lewis Lit.
Lewis Lit. Carlo is Lewis Lit.
Yeah,
No,
you're. Don't swear.
Sorry.
It's a children's show.
Lewis Lit? That's the guy's
definitely
name?
not
Lit?
Bro,
Lewis.
you just got lit up.
Right.
No, I'm not
I was gonna
Lewis.
say, we're gonna get you a cup.
Who's the
Oh,
boss?
he's really
What's your
upset
name?
right
Jessica.
now.
Paul's Jessica.
Yeah,
I'm
Paul
Jessica?
Yeah.
No, he could be Rachel's father.
Rachel's father. Okay.
Okay,
okay.
guys,
Oh,
this is
Robert
going
Zane?
sideways now.
Robert Zane.
Yeah, Robert
Yeah,
Zane. That's
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
No, I'm definitely not Lewis. Lewis is like the most insecure guy on the show. That's definitely not me on this
Carlo.
panel.
Oh my
I don't know about
Just show me
insecure.
Lewis
But
Lit.
bro,
I
he
don't think
knows
you're
he
Lewis
knows his
Lit.
stuff. Lewis
He
Lit
does
knows
know
his
his stuff, bro.
Okay.
And he likes cats.
Okay,
And he likes
stop.
mud.
Carlo
mud.
doesn't like
I don't
mud.
have. I don't
Okay.
want that.
Okay, stop. Miguel, what's a show, podcast, book you're reading, watching? Go closer to the mic.
Right now,
Yes.
Paw Patrol in the morning,
It's for real, though.
Ted Lasso at night.
Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
Great show.
You know how much I love Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso's a great show. One episode, new season. It's great.
Oh, sorry, my turn. Okay, I've started it. I haven't.
Oh
really,
my
like,
God.
I know,
Disaster.
It's interesting, but I might have a.
What
As
is
much
it?
as I hate to admit it, but I think I might have a little bit of addiction to trash TV, like reality shows.
That's okay.
Like
We're all there.
Well, I don't know if
Like,
that's
it's-
reality.
Like
but-
what?
I don't know, I mean,
Like Love
Love
Island?
is
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Perfect
Love is
Match.
Dead.
Oh,
You
yeah.
like that too, Paul.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. I watch that stuff for sure.
Nothing to be proud of. I
Yeah.
just enjoy it.
I'm not watching any shows.
Okay, podcast.
Um,
book.
I've been just rereading The Ultimate Sales Machine, which I really, really like. It's a great book. I listened to it in the car. I've listened to it maybe like 17 times. And it just reiterates certain things that you got to do. And it's all about stacking and layering little things to get to it, to be the ultimate sales machine. So,
The Ultimate Warrior.
yeah.
All right. So a couple questions that came through that people want to ask is what
Through
advice?
through the metaverse?
Yeah, to the metaverse. What advice would you give a new agent starting in this current environment on like how to build a book? Anyone can jump in. It's tough. Obviously, 2023 is tough, which we're gonna get into. But new agents that don't have any client base to work from, what would you guys say? What's one piece of advice?
It's tough in today's market. I think that you have to keep grinding it out and keep working. And I think my biggest advice for the new agents is to start and look for people who have the same mindset as you, who work and think like you, who you connect with, because I've had a lot of people that you can't connect with and you can't work with them. You got to have business partners that you can grow a relationship with and grow that business with, right? I think that's my feedback.
If I could chime in, I think a movement. I think you got to get out there, talk to people. You got to put the seed constantly. I think movement leads to motion, which leads to then constantly planting the seed, talking to people, talk about what you do. Also, equally important for someone who's new is getting a good mentor. I think it's extremely important for people to speak to people who've been doing it for longer because there's a lot of challenges. So like if you have someone to offer support, it definitely helps.
Mentor, movement, like-minded.
We got you, Paul.
Hold on, I want to jump in for a second.
Please do.
I know that all of us really built our businesses differently, but not only like the speaking to people and get out there and all that stuff, I feel like you can do that all day long. But if you don't have the knowledge to back it, you're going to lose that client.
That's right.
Or you're going to lose that COI or something. So aside from that, I think you definitely need to have the knowledge to back up what you're saying.
I don't think you guys built your business differently. I think
so.
you didn't have realtors at the beginning.
I didn't.
It was all database, but I think holistically, your approach and what makes you guys all successful was that you guys pride yourselves on building relationships. And whether you were doing that with a realtor, a financial planner, Miguel with internal staff. I know when you first started, Miguel, you were in the branches at the end of the day, same thing, Micky, you had a lot of partnerships. Dan was going out collecting realtor cards, but you guys all built those relationships where they trusted you. Dan, do you want to talk? Do you want to chime in on advice for?
I think you guys like just to put everything you guys said together. Number one, you need a mentor. You need somebody who's gonna watch over you, help you, coach you. That's like, in my opinion, that's the most important thing. Okay. Secondly, this time specifically, your question was around this time and what's going on in the market.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a good time to start in any business. But to tell you the truth, I think right now is perfect. You get to experience something more challenging so that when it gets easier, you're really fluid with it. And then lastly, you're 100% right, Carlo. If you don't know what you're talking about, there's nothing to talk about. So you need to be mastering both relationship management, which Miguel has mastered, and mastering being the expert.
Yeah.
If you can marry those two things, there's no reason why you can't succeed in any market, in my opinion.
I agree.
So last year you all had record years, your highest year ever in the business, right? Each of you. Numerous awards across the board for you guys. We probably can't even fit them all in this office, which is incredible. And awards are nice, but it's not why we do this per se. So I'm going to ask you guys each what your goal is for the year, approximately in volume, mortgage volume, and what's kind of the one thing that you're going to have to do in order to hit that. So Micky, I'll start with you. What's your goal this year?
This year, I definitely want to target for 150, if not more.
Okay.
And I think the way I'm going to get there is by just constantly improving myself as a manager, as a better leader for my team, and then focusing more on the delegation part of it, so I can go out there and focus on just getting the business acquisition, getting more business in. The way I am planning to do that is just constantly updating COIs, letting them know about the different policies. What I love about the broker space is there's just so many options that we have here, which sometimes even our partners don't know about. So by constantly updating them and staying on top of it really helps, because they might have a client in a specific scenario. That really helps them with their conversation when I'm constantly updating them with it. So I want to focus more on that. I also want to make sure my service is not pulled back on any front. So I want to constantly stay on top of that as well. So those are my ways that I just really want to focus, and just making sure I'm not just focusing on the volume without or with a compromising service. I want to make sure they both go hand in hand.
So in layman's terms, you're going to be working on your business versus in your business. Right. And I think that's something that we used to talk about early on. I know, Micky, you joined me later on, but at the beginning, you guys were all underwriting deals, working in your deals behind the computer. Now you guys are building a team of a support staff where you're able to work on your business, getting deals, talking. Your clients want to speak to you guys. Yeah. That's the biggest thing, right? And versus behind the computer, which you guys have all done a better job, and that's the reason why you hit those. And I apologize for digressing a little bit, but Migs, how about you? What's your goal and how are you gonna hit it?
Yeah, this year I have a volume goal, of course. I want to hit 240 million. That's my goal. But ultimately, what I want to do is create a process, and shout out to my team, Amanda, Brandon, and Christina, who allow us to get to these numbers because we do we focus on really giving that customer service. And even though we're doing 300 files a year now, I still want to make sure that every client gets treated the exact same and feels like my only client. And that's a really important thing for me and for my team. And that's what we've been trying to focus and really take care of, right? And we've put some processes in place that we can talk about, and systems in place, which is important.
How do you make every client feel the same after 300? It's crazy to me.
It's tough. It's actual procedures and processes in place. Like we have from the intro to keeping clients updated and our COIs updated, to finalizing, to having that ending call, congratulating and thanking them for trusting us. You know
So
what I
your
mean?
customer journey is solid. Every client goes through the same customer journey with your team.
Exactly.
And every time you speak to a new client, you make them feel like they're your only client.
All the time.
So that's how you're going to hit that.
And of course, every deal is not perfect. You know, there's challenges in every file, and the key is to be transparent with the client, be transparent with the COI, the real estate agent, and keep them updated and know that we're on it and we're gonna get it solved and funded. Right, that's the ultimate goal.
Awesome. Car?
Yeah, I'll start with goal for me is going to be 125. It's obviously with small children, it's a little bit difficult to find that balance, but I'm trying. And I think for me, the biggest thing this year will be like working on my business and solidifying my processes and trying to maybe automate things a little bit better, and maybe for me at least to step back a little bit from the day-to-day stuff and focus more on the building of the COIs and client and relationship management.
Danny?
It's really, really cool to see like how, I mean, I don't talk to you guys every single day about your business. You know, we talk about other things, and it's so cool to see that, you know, things are so similar, you know, amongst top producers. So I really like that. For me and my team's goal is going to be 300 this year. Our most important focus this year is automation and process, because what I want to be doing is managing the customer, onboarding and acquiring new business. And I find myself in so many parts of the business that I don't belong in. I don't belong in fulfillment. I don't belong in compliance. I don't belong in, you know, some levels of underwriting. I only belong in some layers of underwriting. And automation and process is something that we're very, very focused on this year. And we are hopefully going to try to perfect it, and then hopefully share that with everybody on the podcast.
So what's interesting to me, and I'll wrap this up in not the podcast, this segment. So to me, you break down mortgages into 3 layers, 3 buckets. Acquiring clients, number 1, that's the hardest thing. Anyone brand new, which the question that we started with is how do you build a book of business? You need to acquire clients, and that comes from either partners, center of influences, etc. Number 2 is knowledge and experience, which Carlo said you need to have that to put deals together. And number 3 is process. Majority of you guys all answered this question around process and automation. So given the market in 2023, you guys are all down versus last year, transparently. There's no fear about acquiring clients right now. Like, is the focus, how are you guys getting clients right now? Go ahead, anyone.
I think there's always, like, no matter what's happening in the market, there's always going to be change of hands. So people are always either looking to pull money out, or they've pulled the trigger on a builder home that's coming up for closing. So there's always going to be transactions. It's just us also shifting gears and being a little bit more proactive. See if you can reach out to our current clients and seeing like if we can help them save money, take them to another institution. There's always an opportunity. I think it's just a matter of changing perspective, as opposed to thinking that, okay, the market's slow, like we just give up and like wait for the business to pick up. I think we just have to be proactive with our approach and just find opportunities where we can find them.
100%. Anyone else?
Yeah, you got to bring value. You know, everyone's down across the board this year, including your partners, and it's important to be there and support them and be able to help them get more business. So pre-approvals, they're huge. You know, you jump on it like it's a live deal and make sure it gets done in 24 to 48 hours and have a response. But you need to be there to support other people in the industry so you can grow your business as well, right? It's got to be hand in hand.
All right.
Well, I wanted to say something. Carlo, not saying something?
No,
You can go first.
He agrees.
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually disagree with you, Paul, that acquiring the clients is the most important. You can acquire 1 million clients, but if you have no process in place, nothing is going to move. So I think that setting out a proper process from the start will allow you to onboard more clients. And secondly to that, if you have the right process in place, specifically around having a team, you can be out there acquiring new business.
Yeah,
Whereas,
but that's challenging because we were acquiring business in the beginning without a process. We built the process as we grew.
that's not true. That's not
It
true.
walks, right? If you're just focusing on acquiring, you don't have a good process, it will walk, because at the end of the day,
But it's not even that, Miguel. What you're saying is right now is that when you first started as an MMS and a client came to you, you had no process. That's
No,
that's
you do
not
have
factual.
you have your own process, but you gotta
Yeah,
build
you
that
still
process
have your own
with your team.
process.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but your process is still extremely important, because let's say I come to you, and then Micky comes to you, and then Carlo comes to you, all in a span of a week, and you have no process in place. You could be the smartest guy in the world.
100%.
It's extremely important. I never said it's the most important acquiring
No,
clients, but if you
you said acquiring clients was the most important.
I said right now for a new agent or in this current
one
market,
of the hardest
it's
things.
one of the hardest things to do. However, if you have the most bulletproof process in the world, but you don't have a single client, what does it matter how good your process is?
It's a catch-22, because if you don't have a good process and a ton of clients, you're never gonna materialize those clients into funded files. If you have a very good process, you can be out there hunting business to use the process you've built out.
Yeah, but you gotta get the money to build the process first.
They want a new agent comes in this office. What am I working on them? Building a process or going out and getting deals?
You should be doing both.
Right, but if you look at the
Let's say
evolution of
that-
each of you guys here, you started as a one-man show, then
Yeah.
a two-man show.
Yeah.
Now you're each at a 4 or 5 man or woman show.
But let's just keep it as we're talking about new agents, right? So let's keep
Right.
it as one agent. They come into this office. They say, "I'm excited. I want to be part of this business. What do I work on right now?"
Building the referral sources, building knowledge.
Well,
Okay.
Listen,
Great.
40% of the day, 40% of the day with me is always prospecting, but the rest of it is knowledge, understanding how to put together.
Right.
a
So
deal.
now let's say that same person comes to you and says, "I have a deal in my hand.
of course,
What do I do?"
we're going to show them the right way.
Right. What's the right way?
The right way is how to position the deal properly. We give them the deal notes. We tell them which bank. to go
when
to,
a new
structure.
when a new agent gets onboarded, we provide them with templates about
Correct.
what they need to
Correct.
for ask for documents. We provide them with templates for once the client's approved. We provide them with templates for everything, so that their process is smooth, so that
Right.
they're not like running around with
Yeah.
with chickens with their
Correct,
head
but you
cut
don't
off,
go
right?
through the process till you have a deal. That's
Right.
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 Anyways, I'm just talking about what I feel right now is the hard. Like you're all your answers for this year, given where you were. I just want to make sure that it's relevant to the listeners. That acquiring business right now is where a lot of people like volumes are down, which comes from acquisition of business. That's right. Bottom line.
And to be honest, on that point, like even the knowledge and experience is extremely important.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have a deal, like you can learn everything, but you're never really going to retain it unless you actually have a client in that specific scenario and you've gone through it with them. So I think like once you have a specific deal, a specific policy per client, and once you've done it start to finish, I think you just retain it a lot more. So even for someone who's new, like you can memorize all the policies, but unless you've had that situation, I don't think it's easily
Yeah, I agree.
retainable.
I
From that
agree.
perspective.
Anything to add, Hulk? Are you good?
Yeah, well, I think the question that you asked, it's very multi-layered. Like you're talking about a new agent, but realistically, what is it a new agent coming from a bank, or is it a brand new like mortgage broker? Because a brand new mortgage broker is doing what, 15 million on average, 20
That's a lot.
maybe.
That's a lot.
New,
That's a lot.
brand new.
Yeah,
No,
brand new.
no,
From like
5
no
to 10.
experience.
Yeah, no experience.
I've had maybe 4 or 5 in my entire career.
Shout out to
Friends that did
Farouk.
that. Farouk, Jason Christiani, a few
Okay.
others.
So
that
let's
I hope I'm
take
not forgetting.
5 million, for example. If they
Yeah,
do
5 to 7
million.
million.
Okay,
Oh,
so
Max. Sorry, Max as well. Sorry, Max as well. What's his end up? 15 mil, no background.
So-
Or chills counts or no?
Well, we're
He was a
working
banker.
at a bank.
Alright,
Yeah, I think he's saying new, no
Brand new
bank.
Yeah.
business.
Brand new.
So like somebody like that, you know, it's gonna be very overwhelming at the beginning to number one, learn all of the knowledge, and then and also prospect at the same time while dealing with 55 plus lenders, right? So I think it's a little bit of a combination of both. Yes, you have to have a process, you have to have knowledge too, but I think the most successful agents are probably going to be coming from a bank.
for the most part. I just thought it was interesting. You guys all said automation. That's all. Let's move on.
Automation in the sense that, like, not that we want to completely automate it. A client sends a deal in and, you know, we're not involved at all. Just automating the process in terms of, like, you know, if a deal has a letter of direction, you know, if something's getting sent out, or just things that are not getting missed on the back
Follow-ups on
end.
docs.
Understood.
You can't do the volume that you all are doing without
It's
a team and a
impossible.
process.
It's
never
impossible.
gonna happen.
I have a team huddle every morning.
Absolutely.
8:30 we start. 8:45. It's 45 minutes every morning just to go on names. Like, it's got to be automated. It's
Yeah,
gotta, it's gotta
I
be
don't
more
disagree.
fluid.
I just wanted to bring different layers to it. That's it.
Just touch points, right?
So doing the volume that you four do, I always get new agents coming in saying, I'm going to be the next so-and-so. And I love the aspiration. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to hit this. I'm going to be the next $100 million. Can we just talk about, like, How hard is it?
Miguel, is that your baby crying? Is that your baby crying, bro?
Like, I can't hear you.
It's crying.
Do you have the baby monitor on?
Yeah.
Like,
You just have it on.
I just said to you, please don't have your phone on. Like, I love
it was a
your
cat.
baby boy Kai. Like, oh my goodness! I kept thinking, what is that? I saw someone screaming.
I
Okay,
thought
is
there
it
was
off now?
I thought Vito had a cat or
Is
something.
it off now?
I thought it was a cat
We're
too.
not even taking this out. Anyhow, okay. Can we talk about how hard it is to do the volumes you do? Like, honestly, like, truly, I know how hard you guys work. It is crazy. Whether, you know, Carlo, you have kids. Miguel, you just had, you know, your son. Micky and Dan. Not that you're there. It's not the point. It's not the point. You have. It's a variation of what you guys do. Dan, you've slept here. Micky, you're here early. Miguel, you're here early. Carlo, you're up early. Sometimes you're sending emails at 3 in the, like, you guys are working like crazy. How hard is it? Like, let's really just dive in for a second in terms of to do over 100 million. Literally, how hard it is, so people can understand.
The one thing that's crazy is if you realize all 5 of us have exactly the same like routine that we had when we started. Like, I was always up early when I first started. Dan was up early. We were always the first ones in the office. And till today, we're the same. Micky the same. Carlo the same. We have our routines since we started. And this is a big tip for the new people is you have to work and not give up and keep going, you know, and keep your process like together.
I think it's commitment. It's commitment and discipline. You just have to like constantly hold yourself accountable and be disciplined and make sure that we're gonna have a one-off day, but like you just bounce right back and you start from like where you need to start from. And then if that means getting up early and getting a head start on your day, then so be it. I think it's just all about holding yourself accountable to standards that you put for yourself in the first place.
I think at the end of the day, you just have to find something that works for you. Like what works for me may not work for Dan and for Micky or vice versa. For me, I know that I need to go to the gym in the morning. If I don't go to the gym in the morning, I'm not going to get there. And I know that
You're miserable if you don't go to the gym.
Dude, I'm serious. I
go to the
am
gym?
miserable. It helps. Huh?
He doesn't go to the gym.
No, I don't
You
go to the gym. I
I
don't.
don't think you have in the last few weeks.
But yeah, I mean, like aside from that, we all have our different like I bring my boys to school, and a lot of times I pick them up too. And then between like 4:30 and bedtime, there's not really much I can do in terms of answering a phone. So I rely on my team for that. And then
He goes to bed at 5 though, so it's only half an hour.
it's 8 o'clock now. But yeah, after like you eat dinner
Don't
and
take it
whatever,
all so literal, man. He's just trying to make fun of you.
that's okay.
Yeah,
You
we
can
haven't
make fun.
made fun of anyone so far, so we got to start.
You got to start with me.
Yeah,
Chicken
You're
and
the easiest
waffles.
target. Yeah, chicken and waffles.
Well,
yeah,
you
exactly.
did it to yourself.
What?
The chicken and waffles.
Why?
You shouldn't have brought that up.
Why? I don't mind bringing it
He
up.
doesn't mind bringing stuff up like that. Don't ever let Carlo order off the menu.
I
But
think
still-
this job is incredibly rewarding in different facets. It's incredibly rewarding financially. It's incredibly rewarding emotionally. You get to go through something extremely sensitive with people and be a big part of it. So
that was deep.
Thank you.
I felt
It's very hard. It's a very, very hard job on no matter what level of volume you do, because it's so personal. And I think really, and I think you'll agree with this given how many people you've seen, the hardest step is from 0 to 50. From 50 to like 100 it's hard. I'm not downplaying it, but it's far easier to get from 50 to 100 than from 0 to 50. So if you've gone from 0 to 50 or 0 to 30, pat yourself on the back. You've done a great job, and just know that it's a lot easier to get to that $100 million mark.
I don't
That's what you're
disagree
looking
with
to
you.
do.
I don't disagree. You also have love for the job.
Oh yeah.
And it's, I don't think anyone that's doing 150 million hates waking up and doing this every day. You can't. It's just, you know. And obviously our environment helps. This environment, coming to work every day, I'm jacked, you know, driving in every day to work.
It's awesome.
Our team's amazing.
No, absolutely.
So-
Everyone here, I feel like we're just like everyone's like-minded. Everyone like pushes each other to do better, and there's no like, oh, I want to step on you to get better. I think we're all in it to genuinely want to see everyone succeed, and I think that's something that speaks volumes to what you've created.
Thank you. Individual contributors, but it's like we are a team. We all push each other, and it's a lot of fun. I think just the culture here is fantastic, and we've created a roadmap, right? I think you are all to go around and say, hey, we have 4, and including Moosey 5 in the top 100 is crazy. Like we built that. People know coming here, there is a roadmap if you follow it, of course, to success. So let's talk a little bit about the way we look at the market right now. Not expectations, but what's the word? Predictions. What do we think's happening? It's been a slow Q1. Yeah, let's dive into that a bit. Crystal ball.
I want to hear what Dan has to say.
Why?
Because
what?
Yeah, she has a positive.
Why? Have I been right before?
yeah, I think so.
Okay. I have a few kind of, camps that I'm a part of,
Bandcamp?
Bandcamp, yeah. It's really interesting, man. Like I think it so revolves around the global economic state just outside of our microeconomic state, because there's so many factors putting pressure on, different variables that are causing our markets to change, right? So what I believe is going to happen is that we've had a few years of really big highs, and now we're having a year or a period of lows. And I think once we get out of this, we're going to have a year of very consistent growth with consistent rates and a consistent balanced market. I really believe that the Bank of Canada has seen that they've increased rates too quickly and too many times to try to battle this problem of inflation. And I think the Fed is already starting to see that again. I think they're meeting tomorrow. Today Tuesday? They're meeting tomorrow. And there was a conversation that they were going to hike the rate by 50 bips. Now it's come down to 25, and some economists are saying they might not even hike. I do believe we have a fundamental problem in Ontario or Canada, that there's not enough supply. And there's three things that, in my opinion, push prices up. Of course, number one is supply. Number two is the desire to be a homeowner. Nowhere in North America is there anybody more willing or able to buy a home than in Ontario. Like, people just will do anything to become homeowners. That's like the Canadian dream. And then the third thing is, I can't remember.
You lost it.
I
I thought after one you were done.
Yeah, no, it's not. I can't remember what it is. But
Maybe immigration.
The problem is that rates are going to come down. Okay, rates are going to come down.
Fixed rates are going to come down.
Both variable and fixed rates are going to come down. The problem is that, like, the buyers that were buyers last year they're not gone. They haven't disappeared. They're still in the market. They're just on the sideline.
They're waiting.
Yeah, they're just waiting. But waiting for what? Like, there's no supply out there right now. If you're talking to your buyers right now, homes are going for multiple offers. It's crazy, right? Yeah, we're seeing a correction in fixed rates. I believe that the Bank of Canada is going to bake in some rate cuts by the end of this year. I really do.
I think so too.
At this pace, it seems like that's the strategy that they're going to have to take.
I think so too.
Like right now, if I was a buyer right now, I would heavily consider a 5-year variable rate. Like, heavily consider it.
Or a 1 year, 2 year short-term fixed. If you want that piece of money.
And there's going to be, like, for mortgage brokers and even real estate agents, I think there's going to be a ton of consolidation in the market, because a lot of people the sentiment's down. People are not doing as much business. Potentially people are looking for alternative jobs. And the folks that are doing a lot of business and are continue to do a lot of business are going to consolidate the business that's being eaten up by the folks that are quitting the business. And then ultimately, like, you guys think about your book, from January or even from like November to today, how many 2 and 3 year fixed rates have you guys sold? Which means your book of, let's call it 200-300 million, is going to flip in 2025 to 2026. All those people are going to need to renew. They're all going to shop around because we're coming from a high rate environment. They might need to pull some equity out because they might want to make some investments, or they want to pay off some high interest debt. Like, credit card debt's through the roof right now. So I really believe that there's a very fruitful happening awaiting for us in the next couple of years. And we just got to keep we got to keep working. We got to keep doing the things we're doing, waking up early, providing value, making sure we're talking to our clients, because if we're not talking to our clients, a new agent will be. You know what I mean? And we can't forget, just because we do a certain amount of volume, we got to keep it to day one stuff, right, Paul? Basics. Basics. Got to keep it day one. You're never too big. You're never too, busy. You're never too whatever to talk to a borrower. You need to make them feel, like Miguel said, like they're their only borrower, because at the end of the day, we need to make sure that they continue to come back to us and refer their network to us.
You all agree with that on the outlook?
Like that,
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think the Bank of Canada, they left the rates too low for too long, and they raised them too high too fast. And I think now we're going to start seeing some rate cuts, and I agree with you with the variable. I think right now, like, a lot more people are going to be going with the variable because it's more attractive.
Well, look at HSBC. What are they doing? They're doing uninsured prime minus 0.98 or 9.
Nice.
0.9.
What?
0.9.
Are we allowed to say that on the air?
Why not?
I don't know. Oh, we just did now.
Yeah, and then
Shout out.
insured you're getting prime minus 1.2. Like
Yeah.
Like there's nothing to talk about. I do believe, however, the folks that have had variable that took it over the last couple of years should consider, connecting with their banks to potentially increase their payments to not defer any interest. If they can more, that's great. But pushing the amortizations out for so long could be a little bit challenging. But nevertheless, I really think that there's a ton of opportunity out there, and like we can't make more land. We can't. Like,
But we're not
it's
building.
it's
I don't think we're
impossible.
building the right. I think we're just building a lot more condos, and people want towns and semis, and there's. I don't think there's land for it. That's the struggle, right? Outside of like Barry's on fire still, or Simcoe in general is on fire. Ajax, Pickering, those areas.
Well, that's where it's affordable right now.
Yeah,
for
but
most
there's also
clients,
they can
right?
build there.
Yeah, but during the peak, like a house in Vaughan and a detached house in Pickering were selling for the same price, and you couldn't differentiate the difference, and people were jumping on everything like it was going out of style. Now you see a little bit of distinction, like a house in Vaughan, for example, is trading for higher than a house in Pickering, and you see that Pickering has had a larger decline. I also can't stand it when people are telling me that the housing market's down 30% relative to what?
Relative to when it was super high.
Where it was inflated and an
Yeah.
anomaly. Take it from 2019 to today, you're still up on your
Yeah,
investment.
there's still growth.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I agree. So, 2 last questions. Jim in our office, shout out Jim Nago, director of sales. He had a question that how important, I know this is kind of, you guys might laugh this one, how important is coaching? He wanted me to ask you guys.
Why do you think that's a funny joke?
It's not a funny joke. He just said that you guys want to be coached. Maybe not so much Carlo, but now he does. But Micky at the beginning too was like, "Oh, are we doing this?" But how important is coaching? No, laughing because like I'm asking you the question. It's
How important is it for you to teach your daughter how to brush her teeth? How important is it for you to teach her table manners? How important is it for you to teach her etiquette where she's out in
But
public?
not everybody that's doing the volume you guys are doing want it.
Right.
That's
they're
the
they're
thing.
not doing the right thing.
And there's people that are doing 10
Does
million that don't
LeBron
want
James
coaching.
get coached? Does Michael Jackson and Michael Jordan
Michael
get does
Yeah,
Michael Jordan get
won
coached?
love for dancing. Michael Jordan had multiple
Kirk
coaches.
Alejandro, he gets coached.
Oh, Kirk. Kirk.
Alejandro.
Alejandro Kirk, your boy. No, seriously, but he
that?
wants because there are
my
people
favorite
that
player
come
on the
in.
Jays.
How important is coaching?
I just want to put a disclaimer. I'm new into sports. Okay, just so nobody laughs.
Okay. Mickey, how
No,
important is coaching?
it's extremely important. It's like sometimes we might have like such a tunnel vision that you need someone else to kind of show you.
It's
like,
not
what needs to be-
extremely important. Is not the right word. It's mandatory.
It's the TD in me. Sorry, that's the word that we would like to focus on.
It
But
is
mandatory.
mandatory.
It is mandatory, but again, I mean, you can't really coach someone who doesn't want to be coached. So
Exactly.
you can't force that. But having said that, like I think it's extremely important because you have to also find value in it. I find it extremely valuable.
He's right. There's people that come here that don't want to be coached
That's
and don't
fine.
find value in
That's
it.
your question was if it was important or not.
But it
My
also-
question was, how important is it?
Mandatory.
Miguel, Carlo, go
No,
ahead.
but it also makes a difference in that individual person and like what their goals are. Like if someone might be just okay doing 20 million, right? And they don't want to get coached because they don't want to grow. But if you want to go from 20 to 50 or 50 to 100, it's detrimental to get coached because you're coaching 50 people in the office at least.
Yeah.
So you're taking now little bits and pieces of what
Exactly.
each individual broker is doing and kind of passing on that knowledge, where on a day-to-day basis, like Dan said, I don't talk to Dan every day about what he's doing for his business, and Miguel and Micky, and we're all doing great things that can help each other, and that kind of flows through you. So I think that's where a lot of the value is coming from in terms of coaching. And also where was I going with this?
I actually.
Oh, it was well said, though.
It's beyond business, man.
Yeah,
it's
it's not
it's
just
beyond business.
I don't think
It's
about
also-
just growing the business. I think
Yeah.
it could be like maybe you want a little bit more peace of mind on a day to day, and then talking to someone could help alleviate all that stress that you're taking, and then that could maybe give you some time back to spend with your family. So
Yeah.
it's not just. I don't think Pulse coaching is just strictly like this is how you're gonna grow your business. I think there's like so much other points that you could possibly hit that could just help us from like so many different standpoints.
Yeah, I agree.
Coaching is important.
Extremely important.
It's important. The challenge, I think, is that maybe folks that don't want to be coached maybe don't have the right coach, or maybe they don't have the will to get better as people just outside of business, because coaching is not just about growing your business from 0 to 100 billion. It's not what it is. Coaching is about removing yourself from who you are as a person, as a leader, as a business owner, and really understanding what is happening and how can you sharpen that up. And who wouldn't want that? It's like proofreading an essay. How would you not proofread your essay? You got to proofread your essay. You need somebody to come and put another set of eyes on what you're doing and really understand the nitty gritty, the nuts and bolts of what's happening in your life, both personally, professionally, in any way, and help guide you to be a better person, to be a better husband, to be a better business leader, to be a better business owner. And I think it's like, if you are not getting coached, you're out of your mind.
Migs, before I ask my last question.
Mickey's never proofread his essay.
I've also never written an essay.
Well, your notes are like essays.
Literally.
Just my comments.
No, Paul, how many times do I ask you for coaching?
Twice a month.
Twice a month, bi-weekly. I need it for myself, for every aspect in my business, mentally. Paul's like a psychiatrist, a coach, a leader, a mentor. We're all where we are all where we're at because of you. You help us a lot, and for me, coaching, I need it. Like, it's just part of my business
This
structure.
wasn't supposed to be a Paul Love Fest. It was just how important coaching is. But I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's freezing in here.
Yeah, Max
because
put
you're
it
on
to
the
69.
temperature. So you guys combined said you're gonna do how much volume? Like what's the collective amount?
540.
I gotta change mine because I'm beating Dan this year.
That is true. You are beating
I was
Dan this
waiting
year.
for this.
Actually, Mickey's beating both of us.
No, not right now.
So let's say this group has 600 million.
Did he pass me?
Yeah.
You passed me?
Oh no.
No. You're in first again. He's in first again.
No.
Yeah.
So it's your turn.
Well, you're not getting a daily. We're not getting daily reports, are we? We're getting monthly reports.
600 million, is that enough?
No, I think
As long as I'm on number one, I'm getting daily reports until I'm not.
Give me a number, because that we hit.
Pull up the fucking report.
Okay. Give me a number that if we hit, we're gonna re-record this in Miami.
In Miami.
In
Yes.
Miami. Carlo's
With
not
Carlo.
coming. Carlo's not
With
coming.
Carlo.
I don't think he's gonna make it.
Liz, can Carlo come?
Please, Liz.
I think it's got to be more than 600, man.
Okay, what are we doing?
What'd you say? 125? You said 240? What'd you say? 150? I think 750.
That's what, yeah.
750 right now combined.
That's
you guys
less
are,
than. That's less.
Right now, you guys are at.
Okay, 650.
Right now, you guys are like at 70 combined.
Together.
Way to shut
Yeah.
us down, Paul.
So you guys are gonna do another
No,
700
what is
million.
Carlo? What are you at?
I don't know, 3 million. No,
Anyways,
kidding. Like
so
15.
So
Okay.
700 million if we do. We're
All
re-recording
right,
this
I'll meet you there. 700.
in Miami.
All right, done.
And
But
Dolphins
who's
tickets.
paying for it?
Clear trust.
He's like, we will.
I'll take care of the tickets.
I'll pay for the room that we're recording in. How about that?
I got Poppy Steak.
Oh!
All right. Any closing notes? Anything we want to close on? Any questions for each other, or for me, or for anything that we want to talk about? Or that's how we're ending. Miami, 750 million.
When are we? What next?
No, it goes.
Well, it'll be
it
next.
goes-
It'll be next season.
Well, if you guys, as soon as you hit it, we can go in November.
Right. So we got to hit it before November.
Ideally, it'd be nice, but
No,
So
we
we
just
got
gotta
what?
stay up, put in the
7
work and
months?
Is
everything.
Max coming because he's the producer, or because he deserves to be
Well,
there?
we could
Because
bring
he's
Mac- we could bring
a
Mac-
deserving guy.
Max is also a
Max
celebrity
instead.
in Miami, so.
we can bring Mac, our new video.
Max
guy.
got 16. Max got 16 trips this year. So deserving.
You are Miami.
Aren't you from Florida?
Born and raised. We're shipping him there to open up a unit there. He has more value overseas. That's it.
That's
We're all
good.
good?
That's great.
That's a wrap. Thanks, guys. Honestly, it was a blast.